So you're telling me you don't have any films in your store that are worth buying?
Gary, most of these movies you want to rent from my store, I have never heard of before.
Maybe if you were a true film fan, you would know.
Gary, I literally set up a whole indie film section in the store just for you. What more do you want from me?
You only have Kevin Smith films in that section.
Kevin Smith movies are independent.
No, they're not. Ha, I was right. You're not a true film fan. If you were, you would.
That's it. Gary, get out. Get out of my store. I'm done, Gary. Leave.
Wait, what?
Leave now.
I'm like one of your only
I
customers.
said leave. That's it, Gary. I had enough of you, and leave my store and never come back, Gary. I'm done with you. Go, Gary.
Stupid normie trying to tell me what to do. Hey, a movie theater. Maybe they'll have good movies.
Alright, here's y'all's tickets for the movie. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, Gary. What's up?
Hey,
Yeah, I usually see you across the street at Matthew's video store. Is this your first time here?
yeah, it's my first time coming here. Matt kicked me out of the store.
Wait, why?
I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, what movie would you like to see today?
Oh, I would like one ticket for The Darkness.
I don't think we're playing that movie.
Oh, okay. Do you have The People's Joker?
Nope, we don't got that either.
What films are you guys playing?
Well, let's see. Right now we have a showing of Inside Out 2, Fall Guys.
Ew! All you have is mainstream movies?
I mean, whatever movie is big at the box office right now, we always have playing here in the theater. But maybe perhaps you'd like to see an older movie? Tonight, we're re-releasing Godzilla Minus One, if that's up your alley.
Shut up! You're just like Matthew and all the other popcorn munchers who would rather see the same film over and over again. True film fans like myself step out of our comfort zone and experience the art of filmmaking. It's people like you that have ruined the film industry.
Listen, dude, you can rather watch one of the movies we have and chill out, or you can leave the theater and get out.
I'm not going anywhere. I will stand right here and tell you and your normie customers off. Now, as I was...
Hey, Mike, can you come in here for a quick second?
Ha! What's Mike gonna
Yeah,
do?
this dude is screaming in the movie theater, he won't get out.
Is there a problem here?
Oh, I was just, leaving. Yeah, and I'll never come back. Bye!
Hey, thank you, Mike.
No problem, Braylon.
Hey, Mike, do you think you can pass out tickets for a little bit? I need to go make a phone call real quick.
Of course.
Alright, thanks, man.
Good news. Gary is gone. Bad news. I only have Steve now. How am I gonna get any more customers? Maybe it's time to finally close them. Oh. Move Out Video, what's up?
Matt, you're not gonna believe this. After you kicked Gary out of your video store, he showed up at my movie feed and started going fucking nuts.
Wait, really?
Freaking normies. Ruining media for true film fans. They'll pay. They'll all pay.
Yeah, he went off a rant about how liking mainstream movies and not quote-unquote stepping out of our comfort zones.
Oh my god, what? No wonder I saw him running away from your theater. You know, all because a movie is mainstream, it doesn't make it bad.
Exactly, man. Good movies usually end up in the mainstream.
Yeah, hell, most so bad it's good movies are independent. So that says something.
Well, except for Turtles 3, but that's so bad it's just cringe.
Ew, dude, Turtles 3 is an abomination.
Yeah, man, it's so bad. I don't even want to know who genuinely likes that movie.
If there's somebody out there that does genuinely like Turtles 3, they must have dog shit taste in movies.
Blasphemy! Turtles 3 is an underrated classic. Damn normies.
You know, Matt, I thought about it, all the drama we had a few months ago, and honestly, it was just stupid. I'm not really into physical media, but I kind of understand now why it's so important. So I just want to say I'm sorry.
You know what, Braylon? You're actually a pretty cool guy, you know? Maybe someday we can hang out or something. What? Crackhead Steve! Damn it! Braylon, I'll be right back. I gotta call the cops again.
I should get a rock and throw that shit through Matt's window. Yeah. What the hell? What?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 1 of season 2, and today we're going to be talking about So Bad It's Good movies, and I'm excited for this one, man, because we're not doing anything fancy here like we did with the Rocky one. We're just going to sit down and just talk about what makes a movie, what makes a bad movie good, you know? So I mean, yeah, let's just start, you know?
I guess for starters, like what makes like a movie bad? For me, what makes a movie bad is it could be many things. It could be it's so boring, it's just, annoying, it's just not interesting. Like I think that, there's so many ways that a movie can be bad. I
Every
mean,
Michael Bay movie.
yeah, I mean, we've talked about a couple bad movies on here. We've talked about Good Burger 2, which was just a cash grab. We've talked about Turtles 3, which less said about that, the better. But then
Mm.
you have those movies that, I mean, they're bad, but they're enjoyably bad. There's so many of them. And I think a lot of it just comes down to ironic enjoyment. Because you have those movies that are just so stupid with what they do, you just have to laugh at it. And I already can think of one movie in particular, and I think you're holding it right there. The Room.
This is probably the first like So Bad It's Good movie I have ever heard of. I remember in 2017 when I saw the trailer for Disaster Artist, like the movie based on this movie. I was like, "Oh, let me look into this," and I discovered The Room, and then I went down the whole rabbit hole about like the production behind this movie. Then I eventually watched the movie, and I absolutely loved it. It's one of the best movies. Seriously, like if you're like let's say you're on a date with your girl and you're just chilling at home, you should definitely put this on. It's like the best romantic movie of all time. I mean, can you agree?
So stupid. I love it. I actually love it.
Yeah, a man who can't trust anyone. It's so dramatic. But all seriousness, this movie, there's just so many plot holes. The writing is just it's just broken English, and but it's just so amazing, and it's amazingly bad. It's just so hilarious. And also, hold up, in this DVD case, okay, the first thing I have is a copy of The Disaster Artist, which I stole from a Redbox. We got the DVD here. We got some, just DVD stuff, but we also have this sexy picture of Tommy Wiseau and his and an advertisement for his underwear, which he puts in every DVD. Yeah, his advertisement for his underwear. Yeah, Tommy Wiseau underwear.
I
You can
think
buy his underwear.
I think that kind of just shows like you're not supposed to take these movies seriously. Like this movie
Yeah.
is just it's not good. Like we know that for a fact. It's not good. But I feel like it's so charming and enjoyable of how bad it is. You can't hate it. You really can't hate it.
Yeah. You want to hear something really funny I noticed in the extras?
What?
Okay, so in the behind the scenes footage where you get to see them film the scenes, you would hear like a girl in the background saying action, but then you hear Tommy's voice like over that girl's voice. Here's what happened. So when they were like doing the extras for the DVDs, Tommy was the director, sort of. I mean, he was the director, writer, actor, just pretty much everything, I guess. But the girl, okay, the girl, I guess she was like the assistant director. She said action most of the time, so Tommy dubbed himself in there so it can make it seem like he was saying action.
That is the funniest shit.
That's like the most selfish thing I've ever heard. What the fuck?
That's the thing with the movie. Well, I guess for starters, so we know the movie is bad, but enjoyably bad. But for starters, what makes it bad though? I think you kind of brought it up. Is like there's so many stupid plot holes in this movie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like the part where like Lisa's mom has breast cancer. She just casually talks about it, and then it just never comes up again. Like
Yeah,
she's just like, "I have breast cancer." That's it. Like
and like
that's it.
like clearly they didn't really have much time thinking about everything through. So this movie just came out as just giant mess of a movie. Actually, wasn't this movie like independently made?
Yeah, it was independently made, and Tommy Wiseau, I think he spent like $5 million on the movie, out of his own pocket, $5 million. And okay, one more fact I want to say: when one of the, I guess, people behind the movies went to go like cash Tommy's check from his bank account, he wasn't expecting much, but the amount of money came out, and the bank teller actually said Tommy Wiseau's account is a bottomless pit. So he was able to like Tommy financed the whole movie. Like it was entirely his vision, which is it's just nuts. Even though this movie like it failed at the box office, but sometime in the 2000s, I think 2008 or 9. Yeah, I think it was 2009 it hit the mainstream and people were just it became just a big whole,
I think
following,
a lot of
just
it
a big
just comes from like internet culture and all that. Because back in the day, you
yeah.
couldn't go on YouTube without seeing a clip of like,
Oh,
"Oh,
hi,
hi,
Mark.
Mark," or just clips
Yeah.
so on and so on.
Yeah, and that's another thing about these so bad it's good movies. I think internet culture is one of the big reasons why like they're still being talked about and why they're so iconic. Like besides The Room, we have like the "Oh my God" meme from Troll
Oh,
2.
oh, not Troll 2. See, I've seen Troll
Oh
2. It is some of the most poorly made movies I've seen. Because for some reason it's
yeah,
called Troll 2, even though it has nothing to do with the previous movie. And for stars, the effects are bad. It's just, it's bad. But the memes that people have made just on that movie alone is just, it's too much fun. Like I can't hate it. I can't.
yeah. Another fact about Troll 2, did you know like the weird citizens in Milbog that are secretly goblins?
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I've heard like those people there are actually like the actors themselves were from like mental asylums and they were just getting them in there, to film these scenes. So when they're acting crazy, that might be legit, you know.
See, that's the thing about a lot of these indie so bad it's good movies is they just go over the top. They have an idea and they will just go over the top of what they want to do.
Yeah, yeah. And oh, I forgot to mention. I should mention. Have you ever heard of Ed Wood?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I have the DVD over there. Yeah, okay, it's right over there. But I have a copy of Plan 9 from Outer Space. He's pretty much the Tommy Wiseau of the 1950s. Like he made all these horrible, horrible movies. Back in the 1950s. One of them actually became a probably, in my opinion, it's probably the first so bad it's good movie to like get like a big cult following. Plan 9 from Outer Space. Um, yeah, I think that was probably the first like really bad movie, but he made lots of other bad movies too as
Yeah,
well. But
I've seen a
yeah,
lot of bad movies from that time. I've literally seen a movie, I'm not even joking. You know what it's called?
but
Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
oh, I
It's
know about
it's
that.
so stupid, but you can't hate it because like what kind of title is that? Just Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Oh man, that does sound really stupid. I've heard of the movie, but I don't know. It sounded like a parody to me when I first like heard of it, which
That's
I mean, it kind of is,
it
right?
kind of is a parody, but it's just so dumb with what it does. It's just like that's something I like
Hmm.
about So Bad It's Good movies. I think when you watch them with friends, you can just get a blast out of them.
Exactly, man. You know, we actually talked about this before and privately. Like, as much as we love, like, dramatic, serious films, like a fun dumb movie, we really need those. To like sometimes you just want to be entertained. You know,
Yeah,
and
because like
yeah,
it's good to think about watch a movie and think about with what you're watching, right? But then sometimes you just want to go home, not think about anything, and just put on a stupid movie. Like you need times like that sometimes. And I think movies like The Room and I don't know, Troll 2 are just movies for that category. Like, just stupid movies to put on just for the sake of having them on.
Yeah, and another thing I want to talk about real quick is that all these bad movies we mentioned, these aren't like mainstream crappy movies. These like one of them is, but we'll get to that in a second. But okay, but a lot of these bad movies, so bad it's good movies that went on to become cult classics. These weren't from like Hollywood. These were all by these usually a one filmmaker that's like, you know what, I have this idea, I don't have a big budget, but I'm gonna go out there and do it no matter what. And they eventually did it. The reception is probably not what they wanted, but they ended up becoming successful anyways. And in a weird way, that's kind of inspirational in a weird way. Like, even if you make something that doesn't turn out well, sometimes maybe it can still be a success. It happened with Tommy Wiseau. It happened with the guy behind Birdemic. I don't know if it happened with the people behind Troll 2. I don't see that many Troll 2 screenings going around. It happened with Daddy Derek from Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Derek Savage, that's his name. Yeah, Derek Savage. But his reputation is like down the shitter
Even
because of
with movies like Troll 2, though, yeah, maybe they don't have like screenings and stuff you see to this day. The fact that people are still talking about it, though, like I hear people still bring it up, it still kind of has a legacy just for being how bad it is.
Yeah, and this is something I noticed. Like, movies that won the Oscar, you don't see that many people talking about them. Like, yeah, on a few occasions, people will talk about and praise it, but once the praising is done, that's kind of it. But with a So Bad It's Good movie, like, no matter what year it is, no matter like if it's like 30 years old or whatever, people are still talking about it. Because it's just something so. It's something just very unique in a weird way. Like, you finally have a bad movie that's enjoyable. Like, people like us who are young are still going to be talking about them.
Right, because here's the thing, like you have movies like The Room. Let's take a movie like The Room, for example. Let's take something like Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, or any Michael Bay movie for that matter. Both are, not good movies. Now, objectively, a Michael Bay movie is probably higher quality than something like The Room. But the reason why I would rather watch something like The Room than a Michael Bay movie is because, yeah, the Room's not good, but it starts a conversation. It's interesting. Something like a Michael Bay movie, it's not necessarily a bad movie. It's just kind of forgettable. Because personally, I would rather watch something that's so over the top bad than watch something that's just mid or boring. Because when you watch something
And
that's boring or mid, you don't really think about it. At least with something like Troll 2 of the Room, it's so bad that at least it sticks in your head. With something that's just mid, you kind of watch it and you just don't really think about anything afterwards.
yeah, I agree with you on that. And honestly, in my opinion, when a movie is just mid and it's just like easily forgettable, that's when the movie truly fails. If, like, you watch it and it was just like, oh, it's all right, and you just forget about it. It's like that one movie, Cowboys versus Aliens. Don't get me wrong, it's just fine, but the thing is, like, I'm not going to rewatch it, and I'm not gonna like bring it up with other people. The title is ridiculous, but it's kind of just mid. And the same thing with a movie I watched like a year ago with what's his name? I can't remember his name. It's the kid from Harry Potter. Do you know his name? A movie called Victor Frankenstein, which there's really nothing to say about it. It's just a mid movie. It's Frankenstein.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's like, in my opinion, that's when a movie truly fails, when it's just all right and people forget about it.
See, if I was a filmmaker, I'd rather make a movie that people were dogpiling on than a movie that just no one talks about. Because at least with a movie, let's say I made a movie that people just dogpile on and say, "Oh, this movie's shit. It's so ass." Honestly, I'd rather have that than make a movie that no one really talks about. Because at least, I'm still getting attention from the movie. I mean, people are still watching it. But with something that's just mid, it's not really appealing to anybody, like people who want to watch movies or people who want to watch bad movies. It appeals to the lowest common denominator. But
Yeah, yeah, man. You know what they say, any publicity is good publicity, which to be honest, that's half true, but when it comes to when it comes to filmmaking, that is kind of true.
because if people watch it, doesn't matter if it's critically good or bad. If people are watching it, people are watching it.
Yeah, and like we brought up before, there are some cases that the movie is just bad in general. And do you remember when they replayed Morbius 2 in not Morbius 2, there wasn't a sequel to that movie. They replayed Morbius in theaters because of all the memes and it bombed twice. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Well, because I think the reason why it bombed is because, yes, the movie had a lot of memes surrounding it, but I think Sony missed the point. The whole point of the Morbius memes was to not watch Morbius because it was that boring of a movie. Because trust me, I've seen it. It's boring. It's boring as shit, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But the memes were funny. But I think Sony kind of missed the memo with the memes. Is the whole point was not to watch the movie, so they ended up re-releasing it, and then it bombed for a second time.
That's crazy. Was that the first movie that bombed twice at the box office?
I think
Like
so.
Oh my god, yeah, man. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, yeah, like you said, they probably missed the point. Like the whole like the memes were making fun of the movie. They weren't like supporting the movie at all.
Yeah, it's not something like The Room or something where the whole point of like the Room beams is to watch the movie and see how bad, like how stupid it is. Like it's got to be seen to be believed. But with Morbius, most of the Morbius memes had nothing to do with the movie at all.
Mm,
But that's
yeah.
why it bombed.
Oh man, yeah, man. All right. But yeah, so another thing we should also talk about is guilty pleasure. So I've been waiting to talk about this. The original Mario movie. Now there's some movies out there that I think like there's some movies that are considered bad that some people may find enjoyment out of it, and we both find enjoyment out of this movie, the Mario movie. I consider this a so bad it's good movie. Like it has okay. In a weird way, it is because it has literally nothing to do with Mario, but I actually find it like a very unique movie. You
It is
know?
because I mean I grew up with the movie, so I have some nostalgic to it. But I think what makes the movie so interesting is, let's just say it's not even called the Super Mario Brothers movie. It's just a movie, right? It's
Yeah.
actually not that bad. I mean, I actually kind of like the whole prehistoric theming around it, where basically people like de-evolve and evolve. Honestly, I kind of found it interesting, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the whole world surrounding this movie is very interesting. Like you said, you have all these people who are evolved from dinosaurs. And then you got these two guys having to save, the princess from this whole world. It's a very interesting plot, but it should have had nothing to do with Mario. And honestly, the only reason it had anything to do with dinosaurs because this was during the early '90s when people were obsessed with dinosaurs. But I don't want to talk about this movie for a long time on this episode because we got a lot of more bad movies to talk
Yeah.
about. But yeah, it's really not that bad. And when it comes to like a so bad it's good kind of movie, there are some so bad it's good moments, like the time Koopa orders a pizza and nothing happens.
Muster the Goombas! End up the de-evolution guns! Prepare for destiny! Where's my pizza?
During the end of the movie, there's like this lady or something that gets like electrocuted and she like dies and turns into a skeleton. Like I laughed my ass off.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was pretty
Or,
funny.
or when Dennis Hopper like turns someone into a monkey, he just goes monkey. Like it's stupid, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, there are some memes when it comes to this movie. But yeah, the production behind this movie, according to like Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo, it was a
Oh,
nightmare, and
Hoskins,
that's
he
something.
hated that movie. He hates it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he yeah he said he like in an interview he said he got electrocuted, broken a finger, and him and John Leguizamo would go on set drunk all the time to numb the pain.
like they just did not care. They just see John. He actually likes he appreciates the movie now in interviews and all that. But Hoskins, before he passed away, he just wanted nothing to do with the Mario movie. He
I
hated it.
don't blame him. There's something I forgot, but the reason why they were just drinking a lot because the two directors that made this movie, they were just like changing the scripts all the time, and people just couldn't remember their lines. Yeah, there's a lot more to this, but we're gonna be here all day if we
Yeah.
ramble about this.
Just you Google stuff about the Moy movie because you could go on
Yeah.
and on about that movie, but let's think of some more just like guilty pleasure movies like that because there's just so many of them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, this isn't necessarily a guilty pleasure movie, but I do want to talk about Birdemic. Have you seen Birdemic?
I haven't, but I've heard about it, and it seems like one of those kind of
Oh,
movies.
dude. Oh man, Birdemic. There's just so much to talk about when it comes to that movie. Like, first of all, the movie looked like it just looks like an hour long YouTube video. And the opening shot of the movie when they're showing the opening credits, it goes on forever. There's just so many scenes that go on forever. There's just so much awkward dialogue. But the one thing the movie does make up for when it comes to all the like shitty dialogue and stuff is the amazing CGI when it comes to the birds. Have you seen it? The amazing
It's
CGI.
so good.
So good, man. It's so realistic, especially the part where the birds pee on the actors. That's realistic, and the part when they have to like get the fucking hangers to like beat up the birds. It's
It's stupid, but it
so
kind of has a
good.
charm to it because it just feels like some movie just some YouTuber friends made. It's one of
Yeah,
those. It's something we could probably make, honestly.
yeah, definitely. Like, if I got I use a Canon M50. I'm using this for the episode. But if I got this and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna save up money and make a crappy movie, I could do it. You know, and that's exactly what the guy behind that movie did. He wanted to make a movie similar to The Birds. That movie by Alfred Hitchcock. And I mean, he tried, he tried, but he didn't do very well. But that movie became pretty popular. But yeah, and also now there's two more movies. Like there's Birdemic 2 and 3.
There's a trilogy. Okay, I didn't know about
Yeah,
that. So
it's a whole trilogy. Like, okay, for part two. Okay, here's something funny. I watched like a Vice documentary about the Birdemic, the behind the scenes of Birdemic and about the director and whatnot. Like a Paramount actually wanted to make a deal with the director about making a sequel to Birdemic or some kind of like series or something, and it almost happened, but the director couldn't keep his mouth shut. Like in interviews, he was saying, "Oh, Paramount is gonna like do this and that," and then Paramount was like, "Yeah, we're not doing this anymore. You should have kept your mouth shut." So
dang,
a
dang.
fan had to give him money to make the sequel to Birdemic.
That is so fucked up. Like he could have had this big multi-million-dollar deal if he just didn't shut the fuck up. That
Yeah,
is
yeah. I
crazy.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I can't really see how Paramount can franchise Birdemic in any way. Like, how can you really do it? I mean, maybe you can make some kind of. I mean, I could see them maybe making like a Adult Swim like show off of it or something like that, something of that
Maybe.
name, or some kind of like comedy. I can see that happening. Kind of like Sharknado. You
Yeah, I
know?
guess while we're on the topic of, like how I brought up how it feels like a YouTuber movie. On
Yeah.
the topic of YouTuber movies, there's a certain movie I want to talk about in particular.
But
I've mentioned it with you privately many, many times.
oh boy.
It is the legend himself, Fred the movie.
Oh, oh Lord. Yeah, we got to talk about the Fred movies now. That's how you told me that's how you got into wrestling was from the
Yes,
Fred movie.
yes, because that in the sequel, there's a scene where Cena and Fred are at SmackDown and they're fighting a bunch of vampires. 6-year-old me was like, you know what? I kind of want to watch wrestling now. There we go. Thank you, Fred. Like, I can't hate those movies. Like, they're so cringy and all that, but I don't know. I can't
Yeah.
hate them. I can't hate them.
So I remember when that movie was very popular. I remember like every friend I knew was talking about those movies, and I still remember like the ads on TV and shit. And my let me tell you something. My parents absolutely hated those movies. They're like, "Why the fuck do you watch this shit?"
Also,
Like
dude, my
just why?
parents hated Fred. They fucking hated Fred, but I loved him. I still watched him.
Yeah, it's kind of like people now with children like in Skippity Toilet, that everyone hates it, but the kids like it. And here's the thing. To all the Gen Alpha kids watching this, Gen Z was no better. We
We
loved annoying crap like Fred,
Fred,
Annoying
Annoying
Orange.
Orange. Like
You
we watch
know,
stupid stuff too, and honestly, objectively, our stuff might be worse because you guys have like full on animations and all that. All we had was just a kid with a t-shirt just making high pitched noises.
yeah, yeah. At least like Skippity Toilet, there's some production value behind it. But with like Fred, it's just it's this guy in a t-shirt that's has a high pitched voice and he's annoying. Well, at least with the Annoying Orange, there's some production behind that.
Yeah.
But still, it was pretty shitty. But yeah, the Fred movies. As a kid, I loved the whole trilogy. But as an adult, I still fucking love the whole trilogy. I mean,
I
it's
can't hate
just like
it.
it's like watching a nostalgia critic video. It's so cringe, but it's the best kind of cringe. Now there are some moments, especially in Fred 3, where I'm just like, okay, this is fucking bad. Like
Yeah.
it's just
But in Fred, especially in Fred 2, though, like the way they do the whole vampire shit is so fucking stupid.
yeah, yeah, like the teacher eats food out of the ground or something.
Yeah, and Fred is like in this Chinese restaurant. He's like cooking a sock or something for for a person to eat. It's so stupid.
Oh, yeah, because the guy was just like, "Can you cook my sock?"
And then you have the third one, which they have this story about Crocabera Moose or something that like
Oh my.
eats his head, and there's like a rap scene. Like
Ooh.
it
Oh,
is. Oh my god.
dude, I rewatched that movie like a few months ago when that rap scene came along. I fucking cringed.
Dude,
Like
this is the pinnacle of early 2010s like bullshit.
it is. It's like if Onision wrote a movie, which he might have wrote this movie. That's kind of his humor a little bit. Oh shit. I didn't mean to bring him up, but anyways, but yeah, it's definitely just so like early 2010s. It is.
Like you couldn't see a movie like that made today. Like I don't think today we would see a movie with a crocodile moose rapping about camp stuff. Like you wouldn't see that now these days. It's
Sounds like something I would have came up with when I was like high or something,
and I think that's the fun thing about these movies. Like for anyone that calls me crazy for enjoying the Fred movies, I completely get it. These movies are cringe. Like even sometimes I rewatch these movies and I'm like, okay, this shit's fucking stupid. But when you watch this with friends, like if you are just like hungover and want to watch a movie, these Fred movies, there's just so much you can make fun of it that I can't hate it. I can't hate it.
Exactly. I mean, me and him privately we watched Fred 2 and we just had a blast. It was just
It's so
it was so
stupid.
horrible. It's so bad. And the only actor out of that whole series that went on to become successful is John Cena. And
Yeah.
he was already successful as a wrestler. So, I
So
mean,
yeah, and he kind of just did those movies just for fun. He admitted it in interviews. I only did the Fred movies
yeah.
just for pure fun.
Yeah, it was just for fun. Like it was nothing to him. And you got to think about it, all those actors were probably like pretty serious about it. And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
No,
but okay.
Lucas doesn't even like it though.
Yeah,
He
yeah, Lucas
hates
doesn't
it.
even like it. Yeah.
Oh,
And after we watched those movies, we actually had an idea for our own Fred sequel, which we won't talk about in this. We'll keep that on the down low until something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep that on the down low, but we got something cooking up if we do end up getting a Fred sequel on the ground, which I
Yeah.
think we can.
Yeah, it's just we're not gonna talk about, yes, Lucas, if from weird scenario, if you're watching this, if we can use Fred, please let us, cause
Yeah, I honestly don't think Lucas or even Nickelodeon cares about Fred.
I mean
I
Nickelodeon
really
doesn't even acknowledge Fred anymore. Like they haven't acknowledged him in like 10 plus years now. But
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's gonna happen. And speaking of like YouTube movies, you don't really see them a lot anymore because I mean after like tragedies like the Fred movies, the Smosh movies, the AGVN movie, you just don't see them much.
yeah, and here's the thing with movies like Smosh and AVGN. So like with the Fred movie, it's so cringy and dumb with how it is that, I get some enjoyment out of it. But unfortunately, with something like the AVGN movie, I can see like a lot of effort was put into it. It's just it wasn't for me. It was like just very
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like when I first saw the movie, like I will admit, I was kind of in denial. I was like, "Oh, it's okay," but then I was like, "It's kind of just it exists,"
It's kind of forgettable. It's
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we love like James Rolfe and his work, but it's just
yeah.
not that great.
I'm
I read James Rolfe's autobiography, and he went into like how just awful the production was, how difficult it was because he had to go all the way to California and he drove like across the country to film this movie, and for the next like couple of years he worked on it. I think for like 3 years, I could be wrong, he worked on this movie and he finally finished it and released it in 2014. And yeah, it was just like a big hassle because they went over budget, and you know and honestly that's probably the reason why like James Rolfe hasn't made a movie in 10 years. It's probably the big reason why.
and he probably doesn't plan to anytime soon.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him in another interview saying like he has no interest in making another movie because it's years of your life, according to him. Which that's really depressing to like hear because James, he always says like, "Oh, I want to be a filmmaker," but now I honestly I think he's better at making homemade movies, in my opinion.
I think
Like,
so too. I could go on
yeah,
and on about Rolf, but he's just I've seen some of his homemade stuff. I think he just has a better mind at making homemade styled movies.
exactly. I think he's better when he's like in his own
I
space
feel like if he
because
would have
just did something smaller instead of doing like a whole big adventure, I feel like the movie could have turned out better. If he would have done what like Kevin Smith did for the Clerks movies, I think it could have turned out a lot better. But we should be getting on with other like so bad's good
yeah,
movies. But
but that's
yeah,
just an example of like, a difference between a movie that's just okay and a movie that's like, objectively terrible, but you remember it.
mm,
And there's so many other
yeah.
movies. You know, a movie I watched not too long ago that's so stupid, it's funny. Have you ever
But
heard of a movie called Hardcore Henry? Uh,
wait, say that again.
Hardcore Henry. It's just
Hardcore.
it's this stupid action movie. I'm not even joking. There's this
I
scene.
never heard of that.
I'll have to pull up a clip, but there's this scene with a homeless man. He's looking outside with a guy wearing a big jacket, and he's like saying that's probably the gayest jacket I've ever seen. He opens up the window. He's like, "Yo, man, where can I get one?" This dude pulls up a flamethrower and lights the dude on fire.
It's gotta be the gayest jacket I've ever seen.
Okay, you gotta show me that clip after the show.
It is so
Fuck.
fucking stupid. But I love movies like that that just do not take them seriously at all and just will do anything that they find funny.
Oh man, yeah, man, bro. I gotta see that hardcore Henry. Holy
Bro
shit!
just gets lit on fire.
Just lit on fire for saying some dude's jacket is gay.
Yep. It's so good, but that's the thing with these movies though. I mean, yeah, they're not good. I'm not gonna go around people and say, "Oh, you need to watch this movie. Oh, it is art. It is a work of art. This is like better than Godfather." No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, if you just want to turn your brain off and put something on, just put on one of these movies. You won't have a bad time.
Exactly. It's even better when you're watching it with like somebody else or just a group of friends in general. That is just it's so much fun. It really is. You
Oh,
know, another bad movie I want to talk about real quick is Cool Cat Saves the Kids. We mentioned it
oh my
in the
God.
beginning, but I want to talk about it a little bit because it's just it's like it's probably the worst kids movie I've ever seen in my life. Like it's
It's
so bad.
stupid. It's so stupid.
Like there's a lot of like scenes in the movie where I actually think these scenes were taken out or whatever, or it may have been like remade in a remastered version. There's just so much that's fucked up about this movie. Not like actually fucked up, but like production wise it's fucked up. Like there's this one part where like you see the director of the movie, Derek Savage, who's Cool Cat's father in the movie, and there's like this scene where he's just like hidden a tree and Cool Cat's recorded him. It's like he's trying to show off in a kids movie. That's what he's doing. There's this other scene where like Cool Cat and Derek Savage were like playing some instruments, and like Derek Savage, he was just trying to show off again with his guitar skills, and Cool Cat's going like Cool Cat nah 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 nah, like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, another really stupid part is you see earlier in the movie Cool Cat tells kids like, hey, don't cross the street without looking both ways, but later in the movie when there's like I guess some kind of crime going on, Cool Cat runs across the
Across the
street
street without
without
looking
looking.
both ways.
He didn't look both ways.
I'm
He
gonna.
just
I just want to tell people this. If this video inspires you to watch So Bad It's Good movies, I'm just gonna tell you this. Go to your local Walmart and just look in the $5 bargain bin. Trust me, when you look at straight to video movies, there's a gold mine of bad good movies.
Yeah, and also if you prefer streaming, go to Tubi if you want to watch so bad it's good movies. There are so much crap on Tubi.
Dude,
I've seen so many just micro budget movies that you can tell these guys just got a camcorder, got drunk and said, "Let's make a movie,"
let's make a
and
movie.
released it. Yeah, Tubi. I fucking love Tubi, man. Lots of people don't like Tubi, but I fucking love it. You can find the weirdest shit in there, you
Yeah,
know,
like
and it's all for free,
it's all
which
for
is the
free.
best.
For any of the viewers watching this, like that are like in high school, college, or something, I just take a night on the weekend or something, just get a bunch of friends, put on Tubi and find a bad movie. Trust me, it will not be difficult. You can find so much stupid shit on there. It's too much
Oh
fun.
shit, that's one. Okay, we should have talked about this. Adam Sandler movies. We should have
Oh,
talked about Adam Sandler movies.
see, here's
Oh my god.
see, I'm one of those weird guys. I have a bias, so you know like how m people used to dunk on Adam Sandler a lot back in the day. No, I do agree. He has some like shit movies, like stuff like Jack and Jill, Little Women.
Oh,
Like they're terrible. Don't get me wrong.
oh
But then
Lord.
you didn't. But then you kind of have those movies that I enjoy. Ironically, one of them is this might sound weird, but the Grown Ups movies, I ironically enjoy those movies just because how dumb they are. Because in one of the Grown Ups movies, Shaquille O'Neal plays a police officer. What he does is he attacks this random college student and throws him
Shit.
across a yard. Is the funniest shit. There's just too much to love about like some Adam Sandler movies because yeah, objectively most of those like Adam Sandler movies are just dumb comedies, but I think you can just get so much enjoyment out of them just because how dumb they are.
Exactly. And also, we should mention there's a theory going around that Adam Sandler, he makes these bad movies on purpose because during the production he could just go on vacation while filming and then he could just leave with like the profits. Now that's a theory that's been going around that he's making all these movies on purpose, which he always doesn't denies it. He always says, "Oh, this is, like I didn't mean to make it so bad." But did you know about that? Did you know about that
I
theory?
did hear about that because a lot of the Sandler movies you see, not all of them, but a good amount of them, they always have Sandler going on vacation. Like he'll go on a cruise ship, he'll go
Yeah,
camping. It's a fascinating theory. but I don't hate Adam Sandler. I know people who do. I don't mind Sandler. Like,
I
yeah,
think he's a genius.
I think he's a W, honestly. I think even
Yeah.
as a person, I think he's one of the actors I respect just because he's like, yeah, I'm making this movie. So what? You're still gonna watch it.
Now he has made some pretty good movies. Like Click was actually pretty good.
Click is good. Happy
Happy
Gilmore,
Gilmore.
Billy Madison. I like those movies
The
personally.
Water Boy.
The
I like
water,
that movie. That's funny.
especially in the
Uh,
90s. I feel like the 90s, that was the peak of Sandler for me.
definitely, definitely. He also played in some really good movies like Uncut Gems. That was really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's even did like not even just comedies. I mean, he's done some pretty good drama movies too.
Definitely, yeah. I think he could be. He's a great like actor when it comes to drama as well. And another thing I should mention, when Uncut Gems just came out, he says if that movie doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, he'll make a bad movie on purpose, and that was like Huey Halloween.
Hubie Halloween,
Hu-
which that
Huey
that
Halloween.
that movie's bad, but I don't hate it though. It's bad. I can't watch it because how cringy it is. But even Sandler has admitted that he only made that movie just for the sake of making it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said like he did it despite the Oscar, being like, "All right, I'm gonna make a horror movie on purpose now."
Yeah, it's
I
just
need to see that when
you
October comes around.
you can't hate. I feel like it's just too hard to hate Adam Sandler because yeah, he's made some stupid movies, but he knows like a lot of the stuff he makes is stupid. He just has fun with them. And hey, the
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
that people talk about them, he's been successful at it because it's not like no one's talking about these movies. People still bring them up to this day. So he's
Exactly.
doing his job.
Yeah, and these movies, well, a lot of them do pretty well at the box office, from what I heard.
Heck,
Do they do
I've
well?
seen some of them in theaters. I saw both grown-ups movies in theaters back in the day. So I mean,
Yeah, I saw Pixels in theater. Remember that movie
I
Pixels?
saw that one too. That's another stupid one that I just enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing that in theaters and liking it, which I haven't seen it in years, but I doubt I'm gonna like it again. I'm
The,
just gonna be real.
the last thing I remember from that movie is like Kevin James was the president of the United States.
And he couldn't read.
He couldn't read, but I don't know. It's dumb. It's stupid, but I like it.
Yeah, yeah, man. I think the only reason I had any interest in it because, like, when I was a kid, like as a kid, I was in the retro stuff. I still am. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, old school video games, like that looks so cool. I want to watch that. You know?
Th-
Yeah, I still remember. I still remember like me and my friends getting together and going to see this movie. That was a blast, and in the theater, which was cool.
Yeah, and there's like this scene where like Cubert like turns into a woman, gets together with this one guy. They give birth to a bunch of Cuberts. It's so
I
dumb. It's so
I don't
dumb.
remember that.
Yeah, I'd say go back and watch that movie. There's just so much stupid crap about it. I mean, if you're gonna
Oh,
watch it with friends. Like you're gonna get
yeah.
bored. You're gonna get bored if you watch it by yourself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely like watch it with friends. You
But
just wouldn't get it.
as a whole, I think bad movies, like so bad it's good movies, have a placement though, because we can always talk about like how good this movie is, how good this movie is. This movie is so beautifully made. This movie is fun with its action. But then you have movies that are just like, yeah, it's not good, but you know what? We get to make fun of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything we wanted to say about these horrible movies. So, do you have anything else to say?
I don't think I got anything else to say. I say for anyone that just wants to watch a bad movie, for starters, The Room should be your first one. Second,
Definitely.
go on your smart TV, laptop, whatever, install Tubi. Trust me, you're gonna find a gold mine.
Yeah, you're gonna find something there, and the best part, it's all for free.
Free.
All of it for free. When it comes to like physical media releases, now as a physical media guy, okay, that sounded fucking cringe when I said that, but anyways, but yeah, when it comes to physical media releases, you can find things like The Room for a pretty good price, but all these other like very independent like movies that are out on physical media, it's gonna be tough trying to get them, especially like the DVDs. Some DVDs are pretty expensive. Like there's this one DVD of this crappy movie called it was something with 2015 title. It was about like the government banning like cars in 2015. The DVD goes for like $1,000 on like eBay, I think.
Yeah, because they didn't make a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's just so rare. It goes for like that much money. So that's just
Yeah.
insane.
But
And like yeah, and VHS tapes for like bad movies, like they go for a very hefty price too. So
yeah,
you might have better luck just pirating it.
yeah, but if you want to just find something random, I say just go to like your local Goodwill or Walmart. Just look in
Yep.
the bargain bin and see something that sounds stupid and just put it on. Because
Yeah.
you could find something that's so obscure, and then it could just end up being a blast. I've done that before. I've been to like Goodwill and just grabbed a random movie and put it on.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty obscure movies that I think like some of them I think that are pretty good, and some of them I think okay it's so shit but I love it.
Yeah, like you could just the movie industry. You have like the biggest mainstream stuff, and then you just have like the most obscure indie stuff. But there's always something you can enjoy in each category, I would say.
All right, yep.
But
So that's
I
about it.
I think that's all I gotta say. And just remember, hi, Mike.
Oh, and I did not hit. It's not true.
Is that
Fuck, I
true?
had a water bottle with me, but I don't have it on me.
All
Damn
right.
it.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you for the next
Wait, hold on,
episode.
hold on, hold on.
Oh
I
no.
found it. I found it.
Oh no. Okay.
I found it. I did not hit it. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit it. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Got my water bottle. Found it.
Brilliant.
It was like right over there, and I fucking broke my screen. God damn it! I had to do that for Tommy Wiseau, man. I had
Yep.
to.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch this movie after this review. All right.
Definitely. All right.
All right.
Yo.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Hey, thanks again, Jake. Steve's been going nuts in my store all day.
I mean, it's cool, but when are you gonna ban him?
Well, it's a little complicated. You see, he's one of our only customers, and
Hey, are you okay?
nothing. I thought I saw something, but yeah. Thanks again.
All right, Steve, get in the car.
I need the Mickey Mouse porn.
Alright, that was the last showing tonight. So that means it's finally time to go home. What a long day. Hey, Mike, I'm gonna be going home tonight, so if you need anything in the bunker, just give me a call and I'll head over here. Is that Mike? Huh. Thought I heard something. I must be losing my mind.